All
right. So, well, once again, we're back. We are Sunday, a little earlier with the matinee edition to be respectful of all you football folks. So, live in the man cave Sunday afternoon. I want to say good afternoon, everybody, instead of good evening. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to the All State PG, All State coach. What's going on with y'all, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, man. We gutting it out today, man. We gutting it. We literally gutting it out.
Good, good, huh?
But the show must go on, man. So appreciate y'all rocking with us once again. We do not take it for granted. We'll go ahead and kind of get started. PG, I don't know. I always ask, but may not have anything on the too much tape. But if you do,
I'm gonna go with the flow. I gotta mute y'all real quick, but I'm gonna go with the flow. Billy, you can go first.
okay. Coach, you got anything in your corner?
Coach, I want to ask you, man. So the season had went by pretty fast. We're in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
The last 2 weeks. So, as a coach right now, what is your mindset, and what do you need to accomplish in these next 2 weeks?
In these last 2 weeks, I guess we want to make sure that at this point, nobody's undefeated, right? Everybody's lost at least twice. So for me, I'm trying to look at what got us beat. I mean, if it was in a case where we just walked up on the bus, so that's one thing. But if it's games that we lost that we probably should have won, and some stuff that there's certain things like free throws. I mean, much you can do about free throws, but just from a strategy standpoint, by this time, unless you're in a situation like, say, like a late Wells, I'm just saying them specific, where you kind of essentially just getting your team, I guess, guys or girls should have their role by now. So at this point, it's about fine tuning, making sure that folks truly know what's expected of him or her to help us to be, I guess, have the very best chance to make a run. And that's easier said than done, Coach, because sometimes folks just feel like they got it. But I always looked at what got us beat and try to see have we gotten better from the time we got beat. Let's say we got beat by Lake Wells January the 4th or 5th, I don't know. On January the 22nd, are we better today? They pressed us the whole game. And we had the pressure now. They played a zone and we was horrible running zone offense. I look at stuff like that. Are we better now than we was when we got beat? And if we ain't, that's kind of stuff that's kind of like in class. If I give you a test and you get 6%, I'm not gonna really test you on the stuff that I don't. It's not as important a priority to go over the stuff that you already know. You go back and reteach the stuff that you're struggling with. So that would be my thing, looking at our weaknesses and trying to make sure we can strengthen them as much as we can, getting ready for February. So I don't know if that really answers or not, but that used to always be my mindset.
What was the question? I might can answer.
As a coach right now, it's the last 2 weeks of the season. What is your mindset going into these last 2 weeks?
Trying to improve on the weaknesses. Drill on that. Put all that effort in the practice, because a great coach gonna take advantage of what our weakness is and try to make it their strength. So that's something we have to work on, and probably just understanding, like he said about zone, and we weak at zone. Understand the importance of the terminology of zone and where the strength of it could be at. If it's shooting, put up double the shots. If it's defensively, spend way more time on defense.
So what I'm hearing from you guys is that practice now and preparation now is intentional. It's got to be specific moving forward in order to improve on those weaknesses that y'all are talking about.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them do everybody. All coaches accept that they got weaknesses, dog. Like you hear so much conversation about how good everybody is. that a lot of them probably don't even accept that their team can't do, they can't handle press break well. Their team can't defend a full court well, or they might need to work on the strength of half court. Do teams accept that?
Uh, I would say not all of them. I think the good ones do. That's the importance of having eyes on your team, coach. So your assistant coach, they got to be willing to let you know those things. But also, what I also used to do is I used to communicate with other head coaches, like former head coaches. And when they used to watch my team play, I was like, "Hey, what is your analysis?" You know what I'm saying? In order to get it from another set of eyes that's not on the bench and stuff every day. Um, I mean, Tuma got a great point. For me, we always knew that we wasn't a great shooting ball club. So if anybody played against my 2012 team, we kind of figured that you would try to slow the game down and run zone and things of that nature. Like, so what we had to do is continually work on zone offense. You know what I'm saying? In order to work on zone offense, we had to put in zone defenses. Like a lot of people didn't see it, but those were the strategies that we took as a coaching staff. Like, coach, we go out, maybe our press is not working. So our backup plan were, trapping zone defenses or maybe falling all the way back to a zone. There was all, you know, adjustments that we was willing to take if we needed to. You know what I'm saying? I think another conversation that coaches need to have with each other and with their players is just the last 2 weeks. Do not do anything stupid to hurt your ball club. Like something stupid in school where they get
This show off.
all right, do something stupid in the game where they get kicked out and suspended. I think that conversation needs to be had because you could change the scope of your whole entire season, by doing something that will hurt the team.
And to your point, the closer you get at this point, it should be intentional. You start when I was, doing the whole coaching thing. At the beginning of the year, you very like you're in there for a minute. You might be in there a couple hours. You're done when you're done. Kind of like at Publix, Publix always tell you what time you get to the workout. I mean, warehouse, they don't tell you what time you clock out. So you're over when it's over. So I knew Black was gonna miss it. So, but as you get closer, to the end of the season, as you become more intentional, then the practice time for us always lessens. So, like you said, if we knew that we were lacking in zone offense, then we're getting to get some shots up. We run up and down a little bit. We're gonna do zone offense, and then we go. We're not in there trying to do 4 or 5 different things. Each practice has a intentional focus to it, and once we do it, we go because you're trying to also not run you guys in the ground because you're gonna need them legs. So we don't have to practice 3 hours at this point. We shouldn't have to practice 3 hours at this point. If we got to still practice 3 hours, then we kind of know where we at, But if we feel like we're in good shape, we should be getting there about an hour and a half. 30 minutes of that is shooting. And probably more than that is shooting and go through what we on and then get out of there. So I think that's important too. I think some people still do the whole 3-hour practice all year long, and I don't know if that's always the strategy.
We did the same thing. We lessen our practice, especially once we got into the playoffs. We also lessen our contact also to try to prevent injury. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do a lot of contact stuff. We got a lot of shots. We fine-tuned the things that we needed to work on, and definitely we backed off their legs. In the
7-5
playoffs, definitely.
Well, to kind of piggyback off that, I saw something and I want to talk to you all about it. Kind of going in line with what you're saying. Coach Austin, I don't know if y'all remember Coach David Austin. He was the coach at Lake Gibson. After he went back to Mississippi, but he coached at Lake Gibson for a couple of years. He shared something that it's an NBA quote from Joel Embiid. But my question was going to be, well, I'll read the quote and then ask you all kind of connect it, hopefully. He said, Joel Embiid said this. He said, it's funny when you got these old guys always talking about posting up, you need to spend time in the paint and all that stuff. You can't win this way anymore. It's not the freaking 90s or 80s like it used to be. So they must not have any basketball IQ. So my question is, we getting ready for the playoffs, district, regional, state, and all that. What is the sauce, the secret sauce? You know, two part. You know, when you're making a cake, you got to have two parts this, three parts that, cups. What is the sauce that you need to have in order to make a run to win state? Can you win? And then the second part of that, can you win state without having any type of inside type of presence? I guess. So
Yeah,
it's
you
kind
can win. You can win state without an inside presence. You can't win. I don't think there's too many teams that can win state without a floor general, a pure point guard that can be a general, like a leader. Like you got the head coach, and then you got to have another coach on that floor. And a lot of these teams, I think, lack that part of it, and that's what's been missing. You think Bartow's 2 years that they won state, what did they have?
of PG.
And I'm not saying that because I'm a point guard. I just clearly think that you have to have that quarterback, that point guard that can control the game, um, and have that because the game can get out of hand from coaching sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, all coaches can't see everything, so it all depends on your staff. But that floor general, that's probably the most valuable piece.
I agree with the PG on that, but at this point in time, when you get here, you're gonna have to defend, coach. You know what I'm saying? Because now, like you said, people are being intentional. They're gonna try to take away your best asset. You know, especially offensively. So what you're gonna have to do to make sure is that you limit everybody. You got to play defense, coach. You got to defend. You know what I'm saying? You're rolling the dice if you're playing a shootout every game. You're rolling the dice because what if you're not hitting that game? You know what I'm saying? But you still can defend and make it tough for people to score, and you can do that with effort. You know what I'm saying? Communication. You know what I'm saying? And just playing hard. You know, just to piggyback what PG said, that's important. But I think you have to be a good defensive team, and you got to put emphasis on defense when you get in this time of the year.
Can you win state without a PG? Have
Yeah,
have we have we had somebody in Polk County? We'll just make it Polk County.
yeah, all right.
One state without a PG.
In Polk,
We'll leave it to Polk. I mean, because that's easier, but I mean, that's more like it's a smaller. That's a smaller thing to kind of think about.
did the Kathleen 2001 team have that PG, or did they just have pure talent and
I don't
they
think
had a good?
that's where I'm going. I don't think that team had a true PG. Now some whoever played PG will say they did, and I might be off on that. Just that's 23 years ago, 22 years ago. But I wonder, have we had had a team in Polk won it without a true PG?
I would say that team. I would say the 2000 Lake Wells team. It wasn't a true PG because Willie Grant he played the two. You know, so I think it's been done before. I'm not sure who was the PG for the Haines City team. You know, I think they had a bunch of guards that could play. Just looking at Polk in itself. Now, the recent Polk teams that have won it have had true floor generals at the PG spot, but it's shown that it can be done. Your floor general doesn't have to be the point guard. It doesn't have to be the point guard. So let's just get that out of our head. As long as you have a true leader on the court that holds everybody accountable, know when to get on to people, also know when to pick people up. You know, it doesn't have to be the point guard.
Yeah, floor general is not always a point guard. Floor general is a pure leader. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Like I think everybody thinks just floor general or PG. Floor
Mhm.
general is a pure leader. You need that. You need that on the floor. Like you need that.
So we moving away from really saying a PG. We're just saying a floor general, and that's not necessarily a PG. Okay.
It's multiple people that can control the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about your best player should be able to slow the game down and get the ball into point guard's hand. It's just somebody has to slow the game down. Somebody has to see the game. Somebody has to understand it. Somebody has to communicate with the coach. Somebody has to explain there's no bad shots because of the situation we're in. Somebody has to, huddle up the team and tell them we right there, man. We 3 minutes out. We can't do these stupid fouls. Somebody has to explain all that. Can't take bad shots. It just that's a general. That's a floor general. They
Okay.
got to be on the floor. They have to be on the floor at that time of the game to be critical.
Does that importance of that person change with their classification? I guess like if you got a phenom as a freshman on a team full of upperclassmen, you
Hey,
understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it change with your age or with your where you're at?
basketball IQ is everything. There's some young kids right here IQ better than some of the older kids they play with. That's what's important to basketball IQ. You may study the game better. You may have learned better from somebody who played at those different levels that those other kids can't haven't. But through the test of times too, now you got to understand if somebody's been there. Like for example, Winter Haven's been there last year. They shouldn't come back making the same mistakes that they made last year. You know what I'm saying? So that experience weighs a lot. You shouldn't rely on a freshman when you went through that rough road right there that you went through.
And that floor general is not always your best player. It's the
Yeah.
one that everybody respects. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, my floor general, I had a couple of them on the 12 team, and one was Russell Wilson. But what everybody didn't know, his brother that we had, he didn't play as much, but he was just like a coach in practice, a coach on the floor. He was always vocal. They always was communicating to him. He called them out when it was time. He congratulated them when it was time, and they'll tell you they was afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? So
So
it's
it's
it
respect,
doesn't
fear. It has to be respect or fear.
it was I would say it's more so respect,
Okay,
but at the same time they wasn't gonna try him.
got
Out of all people,
got
but that freshman could do it. It's not really um it doesn't happen often. You know what I'm saying? A freshman usually not the one that's communicating like that.
you. All right, coach.
Well, I thought that was me. Hey, man, I'm like, man, I don't hear the button over here. No, I ain't hit no button. Like, hey, man, what I'm doing?
My bad, my bad.
Getting ready, coach. He getting
It's
ready.
live, it's live, so you never know what you got coming, man. I'm
He
sorry.
getting ready.
I mean, so I guess it's something too that the most recent I can think of, if based off of how you all defining it, of a team that their best player was the flow general, but he wasn't the PG, would have been the Bartow team with the Baker kid, because the what is that, Marion? I mean, he clearly was like the guy that they all responded to, and he kind of was kind of like kept the team alive, but he wasn't the PG and he wasn't their best player. So I can understand that. So my bad, boss. Um so in Black don't miss nothing, but yeah, man, we have to, when it's in matinee, Black, we have to do it a little, different, you and Shaw. So, anywho, man, so I just want that was kind of the question that was out there. So we're gonna transition to the week that was last week. Had a couple of interesting matchups, and so we'll talk about it for a couple minutes, much as can. So the first one we had was Santa Fe at Victory, and very well played game. And Santa Fe was able to go into Victory, a real tough place to go and get a win, and got a win against
I'm here, y'all. I just cut it off.
Yezzer got a win against Victory. And so I don't know any thoughts, feedback, or response from that one first.
Coach, that's a top 10 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Fe has always been tough. I think their schedule has prepared them to play anyone. And I think those type of games can go either way because both teams, if they're really on and shooting the ball real well, You know what I'm saying? It can go either way. I think Santa Fe went in there and got a tough road win because it's tough to win there at Victor. You know what I'm saying? So,
Very,
kudos to them.
very tough. And it was some, I guess, some conversation on the page we post the score. When you post a score nowadays with victory, the first question, and I guess it's a fair question, I guess at this point, is what LJ did. Because we didn't post the points, we didn't post the stats like we normally do. And so it was a kind of a debate, and I guess there was some people, depending on who you talk to, that felt that, I guess, Santa Fe had a kid that kind of really, really defended LJ well as you can defend him. But then you had some other people was like, now you can't expect the kid to go for 40 and 50 every night. And so it was kind of like you was giving the kid that, I guess defending him credit on one hand, but then you were saying that, it was essentially because LJ is human and he ain't gonna do that every night. So he has definitely set the bar like very high. So that's kind of the expectation now, But one thing you can always applaud both of them, and that's what say he had 25. And for most kids, 25 is a career night. And for LJ to this point now, it's quiet. It's a quietness, what's wrong with him and that kind of stuff. And it's just crazy that the level that he has created for himself. But yeah, like when we spoke about the kids, it's always, I don't know. You either like us or you don't, I guess, because we spoke about the kid being the best shooter in the county. We kind of got rocks thrown at us. We kind of got daggers thrown at us and stuff because he wasn't, I guess he wasn't a sexy pick. He wasn't on a team that people really knew, or maybe they just didn't know him. But we spoke about the type of shooter that Tate is early. But anywho, it was good to see that he's proven what a lot of people already knew. But I just thought that was a real good game. I think it surprised a lot of people. I know all three of us picked victory, so we was wrong. We all picked victory, and we was wrong. We all picked Lakeland against Arbondale. We was right, and I think it was one more. Like we went like 1-2 for the week. Like it was a tough week for us, but thought that was a pretty good game for Santa Fe to go in. It's definitely gonna help their strength of schedule as we continue to get ready for the playoffs, like we're talking about. So that was the first one. Second one was segue Lakeland at Arbondale. And Lakeland went into Arbondale and picked up, I think it was like ended up being like a 13-point win. And so any thoughts on that? What's going on, classmate? Tim, good to see you too, man. I'm just trying to make it, trying to keep moving forward and let God handle the rest. Good to see you, though, man. Appreciate you checking in and rocking with us on the matinee edition. So, Lakeland Arbondale game. That's where we at now at PG. Don't know any.
Yeah. Let me.
Go ahead.
Okay. We're supposed to be somewhat sports guys talking sports, right?
Yes, sir.
When did I know y'all ain't, but when did I become this Lakeland hater? Like, you can't say nothing about Lakeland, or you hating, or you can't keep nothing in you can't give your opinion about Lakeland basketball. Like, there's no way last week that we all said we picked them over Auburndale, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So for me to say they possibly can go 0-3 in the week, it ain't no different from anybody else that got a tough schedule.
If you step on the floor, you can possibly lose. That's
like even with the situation with the getting 20 piece, like it's not impossible for you to get blowed out. And it became a situation where like I don't have one. That don't mean I dislike Lakeland.
When did we exactly? And that's the thing with us. We've always said, we're gonna give our opinion on stuff, and it ain't always got to be. We ain't trying to change your mind. we having good discussion, and good discussion doesn't have to agree with each other. Last year, Bartow got beat down up in
gave it to him,
and we gave it to Bartow on the air. Winter Haven got beat down. Winter Haven got criticized plenty of times for what happened at the Civic Center on this show, whether it's by us or whatever. And so it's like now that Lakeland goes and get it, get it put in them.
They got a mean sausage put in them. You know why? You know why Lakeland sausage hurt Mo? Because Coach came on here. Coach came on here capping. Coach came on here with cap. Like they can't get beat by a dub, by nobody in Florida. Man, we know Mount Vernon to run through every team in Polk County, get them a 30 piece.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like shocked, like, huh? Like, man, there's some teams out there now. Yeah. There's some teams out there that'll put that mean sausage in you when you don't do your research. Hey, he ain't driving back down Fort Lauderdale, and they got to figure out how to get the rest of it out of them. Because it's in them. We ain't talking about no other games. But my buddy, that's my boy, love himself. He driving back right now. I hope he ain't driving, but if he driving, they might wreck. But he got to figure out how to get that mean one out of him right now. Because it's in him.
It's in him, Coach.
It's in him. It's in him. Cause that hurt more. Hey, it's one thing to get the sausage. Listen, it's one thing to get the sausage, but it's another thing to get on the page and get cocky and say it can't happen. And as soon as you play, boom. What that Mortal Kombat thing say? Come here. they pull you back in. That's what happened to my dog. But me saying that now, I become a Lakeland hater, bro. That's crazy. That I'm an official Lakeland hater now for saying that.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That they can get beat by 20.
Oh my god! So
when I see him, go buy him a sausage,
bruh.
Now here comes my sis talking about. But last week when it was Winter Haven, I clearly was on here talking about Winter Haven was gonna go down there. You need to get a close one. They're gonna get sausage put in,
bruh.
And Billy D was one more confident because he coach over there. And I say, boy, I don't know what you read, and didn't I tell you that, coach? I don't know what you got in your head, but my Verb gonna put that thing up in them boys.
Bruh. Bruh. What?
See, it ain't even about, listen, it ain't even about getting beat by the 20 with Winter Haven.
Oh man.
If anybody outside of Billy D being a Winter Haven coach thought them boys was gonna go down there and make that a game, man, they tripping. They was tripping.
Oh man.
We all knew Winter Haven was gonna get that sausage.
Oh man.
We didn't think Lakeland was gonna get that sausage.
Oh man. Yeah, Tyrell. He finna be on the Joe Black plan at Lakeland High School.
Hey,
bruh. Oh man.
Coach, you Polk, who's you? Them your kids, man. I hope you don't call and checked on them.
Oh man.
It's hard to try with that sausage in you.
It's hard to ride. So you gotta ride, bro. You gotta ride in one of them, like one of them baby seats they have in the back where you
Hey.
Boy, it's tough out here, boy.
It's tough, man.
Hey, the thing is, oh man, bruh, what is how bruh, it's deep in them, huh?
Man, hey. You know how stressful it is to wake up after a good win and you got to worry about 1 o'clock. What's gonna happen at 1 o'clock with Tuma?
Oh man. Oh man.
Cause you know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
Hey, but I mean, like you say, and you know, them my guys, man. All them guys, them my people, man.
Mario, what up, boy? Hey, listen, man. That team y'all played last night, man. That team trash, man.
Oh man. But this our point on it is though, past all that, past all the that's the two mistake. Yeah, I
Hey,
knew.
that's the two mistake.
Yeah, yeah,
Making with the sausage.
yeah.
Hey, and then it's a 3 hour ride. At least Winter Haven got it in them and got it out. They ain't drive but 35 minutes. Well, you got 3 hours of that thing in you, boy.
But hey, we got to take it out at the toll road,
Hey,
huh?
and then you got to come back in a week. Now, next week, you got OCP.
Oh man.
Got the other grown men.
Oh man, my dog head hurt.
You don't want to get a double sauce. You don't want to get a double take. You can't get two sausages now.
Oh man. What they play with a shot.
You know that, Billy D. You can't get two sausages in 2
Oh
weeks.
no, not at all.
Yeah. Hey, if Lakeland get another sausage, y'all bringing them up and cutting the screen off. Anytime y'all bring up Lakeland, I'm doing this.
But you know the thing though, the thing about it is, man, it's like our point is past all this, man. We consistent with everything. You know, last year, and I speak on this because, like you say, them is my guys. Last year, the whole thing was by multiple people that was not in Lakeland, mostly East Polk people, that we showed all this major love to Lakeland. Lakeland couldn't do no wrong. You know, folks know my history. A lot of people know my history at Lakeland. And then a lot of folks know my history with the guys that's coaching at Lakeland. You know, like I say, they're my guys. I don't apologize for that. But having said that, we've always been consistent, whether it's Lakeland, Bartow, Winter or anybody else. So it's interesting when Lakeland loses, all of a sudden we hating on Lakeland. And I'm just like, hold on now. And, you know, I ain't no type of receipt guy, but, you know, it's anything but hate with Lakeland. It's just we gonna keep it real, and they don't get spared just because they're my guys and you know my history at Lakeland. If they got to put in them, they got to put in them. And y'all, you know, you can't you can have it both ways. We can't be rocking with you when you're winning, and then we give you a pass when you lose. That's just that we wouldn't be who we is if we didn't do that. So Lakeland, y'all just was next to take it.
So this is my other part of Tuma take, fellas. And it's a good question for y'all, right? Can any team in Polk County win the big game on the road to get to the state? So I'm gonna give you an example. If Lakeland goes to Wekiva, and if Winter Haven had to go to Olympia, can they win those games in their gym?
And then I guess you want to add Victory because
Victory go to OCP.
Victory in there too, and then Santa Fe, I guess.
Winter Haven will have to go to Olympia.
No, I just use that as an example because they got the easiest seed. They'll be number one seed in theirs, but it could any team. Those are three teams, right? Can Auburndale go to Jones or Leesburg on the road? Can these teams go on the road into those environments right there and make it to the White House?
I think that's why you play those games. That's why Winter Haven went on the road and played those games, and you got to play them on the road. But
that's why Lakeland did it too, though.
That's why Lakeland. That's what I was about to say. That I think that was a good job by him going down and playing those teams on the road, being in a hostile environment in order to prepare those kids for that particular situation. You know, I used to get criticized, and we get criticized with the girls all the time. We only have like 4 or 5 home games, but that's for a reason. In order to prepare yourself for February, bro, it's potentially you're gonna have to go to somebody's house in order to kick the door in, and that's not gonna be that's gonna be a hostile environment. Period.
Yeah,
I think it's tougher for Lakeland to go to Wekiva and beat them, but I think Lakeland can go over there and beat them. I really do.
So I think at home Lakeland can beat. I think at home Lakeland would be able to make it.
I think Lakeland got the guard play.
Go on the road. I think Winter Haven. I don't believe Winter Haven can play because Winter Haven got a situation too now. We're gonna put Winter Haven to make it, let's say, Final Four. Yeah. Can Winter Haven beat a Lake Worth or a Olympia to get to Columbus? Or can they beat Columbus in the semifinal to get to that championship game? because it's different for that team out there.
Agreed.
They playing Tampa
Like once
Seawater
they
over
get there, I think that's two tough games. And if they're back to back, that's gonna be tough on Winter Haven. But I do think Lakeland, with their guard play, with Rowe being the floor general of that particular team, I think he can carry them, on the road, to win that game to get into the White House. But it's gonna be tougher. It's definitely gonna be tougher. I think victory is in the worst position out of those two. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what they got to go up against. But with LJ on the floor, you just never know. He might, get into one of the modes where he go for 50, maybe 60. Cause you just never know that he can carry his team. But I think for them to get to the White House to beat OCP is a little bit stiffer hill for them to climb.
Yeah. I think Winter Haven, like people saying in the chat, I think Winter Haven probably got the most equipped to go on the road because they've been on the road and they've been on the road to play some people. I think they're gonna end up with all their games at home though, based off where they're at right now. So I mean,
they'll play everything at home.
Yeah, so they wouldn't leave Winter Haven until they just drove down the road to Lakeland. I do think that Lakeland playing, even though we joking that they got the Suns game on Friday, I think that loss helped them win on Saturday because they went into another hostile environment the next night, and the kids were not as shell shocked this next night because you had just been in it, So I do think that helped them. And like you said, going on the road down south Friday night in Palm Beach and Saturday night in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, that's tough. So they'll be better for it. So, but having said that, like you said, Lakeland will not be Wekiva. Lakeland, or he said Lakeland won't beat Wekiva. Period. Wekiva's a pretty good team. That's what Lincoln's saying. They're a pretty good team. We said Lakeland is going to be a tough out at home. On the road, they're going to be a tough out anyway, but they're much more likely if they get beat to get beat away from Lakeland than they will at Lakeland. I think that's kind of what we're saying. But like you say, that mental toughness is going to have to travel. The good thing about Lakeland, they got like 9 seniors, and they all just won a football championship. So you can't that's an advantage that a lot of people not gonna have, that they got 8 or 9 guys that just, like I said, just won a football state championship. So they've been in adverse situations. So that's definitely going to help them no matter who they play or where they play at. And like you say, with Victor, the thing about Victor is you got to tip your hat to Coach Fitzgerald. You don't know who they're going to, I mean, we assume they're going to end up playing OCP, but they definitely are playing people along the way. So it won't be like the first time they walk up on them, they're going to be shell-shocked because of the talent. They've been playing some folks. They doing all they can from a schedule standpoint to Coach Fitzgerald prepares guys for that, that matchup. You don't want to look down the road, but I think everybody kind of, they 1-2 in that region. I don't think that's going to change with Victor and OCP. So at some point they're going to have to run up on them. So they're doing all they can. And at the end of the day, you just got to roll it out and go for what you know. But to answer your question, I really think Winter Haven can. I think Lakeland can because of who they got playing PG. And they got a lot of other guys that got that mental toughness that you're going to have. And to Revis, and coaching does matter too. Coaching does matter. You got to put guys in a position. That's kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the show. It becomes, and one thing, Coach, I know you do it, and I know one thing we used to do, especially when I was at Lakeland, is we always had at least one, and we did this primarily, like I said, not so long coach no more, Coach Collins don't either. We did it primarily for Coach McGriff. We always had at least one offense set and one defense that we never ran during the season. Looking ahead to Bartow, because we know nobody scouts like McGriff. Nobody is in the gym. Nobody watches film like McGriff. So we wanted to make sure that we had at least one thing on the one or two things that he hadn't scouted, he hadn't seen until we actually played him. So I don't know if people think that way, but I know we thought that way. because we knew he was thinking that way. Like I said, I can say that now because I don't coach no more. But we always did that. So that's another thing is, and that's from a coaching standpoint, do you have something kind of tucked away in the back that you can pull out, in a situation that folks ain't had a chance to scout and work on and prepare for. So, and on the road, you probably need that more so than at home because on the road, they don't tell you what might happen. You got to be able to have something that you can kind of hang your hat on, at least for a couple of possessions, here and there, they can throw the people off and not let them get in the rhythm. But that's a good question, though, Toom, like on that road, because we figuring that Winter Haven won't, but everybody else is probably going to have to leave their gym at least one time before they get there. So as far as districts, unless I got it wrong, Coach, it's the highest seed, right?
Yes, sir. That's what I heard. Just like yesterday, the highest seed is going to host.
Yeah, Lakeland doesn't have an easy. Lakeland and Bartow. We figure Lakeland. Let's just say Lakeland's the favorite for their district. Let's just say they don't win it. Don't throw that at the screen, Lakeland people. But let's say they don't win it, and say Bartow wins it. Both of them. That's a tough region that they're in. And if Lakeland don't win, they'll end up like a 5 seed, so they'll definitely have to be on the road. So they got to win to get one of them 4 seeds. And you always got to be wary of Bartow because of McGriff. You just can't just rubber stamp Lakeland. And once again, we just keeping it a buck. So Lakeland people, if you're gonna be mad, just be mad. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off that before we go down there again. All right, and then I guess the other thing is yesterday, 2 teams, Wally Keller Classic, when Bartow played Miami Southridge, they lost by 10, and when Haven played a team from Illinois, and they won by 9, I think. So we only had 2 teams go down there this year, but normally go down there and compete pretty well. That's always a good little Saturday out of county, out of district matchup. So shout out to both of those teams, going and competing. And like we said, Lakeland went down. Lakeland last night went to Fort Lauderdale and beat Boyd Anderson 53-50 in overtime. So got to win in a tough environment. They wall-to-wall in there. Cheerleaders in there, they stumping on the floor. I mean, both of those are real playoff those are definitions of hostile environment. So they'll be past all of us joking around or whatever. They'll be better for that. And, they'll be better for going down there and getting that work. And he in credit, he scheduled Arbondale Thursday, Lake Worth Friday, Boyd Anderson Saturday. We kind of question it. At least I know I did, but it's his program and he know his guys, and they went 2-1 out of they went 2-1 out of that stretch. So you got to feel good about it overall. Of course you didn't want to get the sausage put in you, but if you can learn from it, so it don't happen again, and it was a good experience. I don't know if Coach. I mean, if we talking OCP. OCP is not the same OCP, so that's what I keep saying. I think Victory got a shot, especially with who they playing, and the fact, like you said, you got somebody who can give you 50. He done showed it, so I just think that they got. I don't think it's out of the possibility like it has been in years past. But we just like, man, please, they just showing up. I think they got a legit shot to go and compete with the folks and give themselves a chance to win, because at the end of the day, you got LJ who can give you 40 or 50, and then you got other guys like Andino and the Lanier kid. They got some kids that can score enough that they can. I mean, I don't know. I think it'd have to be a shootout. I don't think they can necessarily guard OCP, but I don't know if OCP can necessarily guard them. How they play. So definitely.
I mean, like I said, for one, it's going to be on the road, so you're going to have to go over there. I'm not saying that they can't beat them because anything can happen on any given day. I just say it's a little bit tougher hill for them to climb than the other 2 teams that we talked about.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about OCP, them won like 6, 7 in a row.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
ain't nobody beating OCP.
I just come back. Pop back in.
Let's stop the madness, man. Who play OCP? We talking about Victory?
Victory.
Santa Fe just beat them, man. Y'all do know that, right?
Yes, we know that.
Sir, we're aware of that, sir. We're aware that they just beat them.
They ain't going to Orlando. No, they
I mean, if somebody just thought that Tampa Catholic just beat them, totally understand. You know, if that Tampa Catholic do got a top 10 player in the country.
Oh man.
So,
Well, at some point when you never know. Y'all know this is live and unscripted, so you never know when that black screen coming. You just know it's coming. You just never know when. So the reaction is very.
Yeah, y'all guys got confidence.
Oh man, I'm just looking at what the people been doing. Their body of work, you know.
You gotta be doing an amazing job keeping the positive while I keep the negative on.
Oh man,
salute the Polk hoops and coaches.
It's a great balance, you know. It's a great balance. So, all right, well, we're gonna move on to the girls' top 5 for the week, man. Number 5 is Discovery. Number 4 is Lake Region. Number 3 is George Jenkins. Number 2 is Avon Park. And number 1, been that way all season. So Winter Haven. So any reaction to the girls' top 5 for the week?
Oh, you ain't have to put the sausages in Winter Haven. I mean Lake Gibson in that gym. Put the sausages in them. Then you had all your brothers there hopping around in them people gym, man. Dead wrong for that, man.
Yeah, it's levels of.
I'm disappointed in you, man.
It's levels of.
Y'all there taking photos and hopping around on them people flow. Those people don't want y'all hopping at you. Don't beat them by 25 and 30.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. You cut it Lakeland. You gonna call your frat brother.
Man, they've been asking to watch the kids play all year.
They got a step at the show.
They didn't, but they had a DJ and the DJ played the dog. What you think gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly. Y'all put the dog on them kids, man.
DJ, hey man,
blame it on the DJ.
Hey, you can't be responsible for what the DJ play, coach. I get it.
We cannot, bro.
They DJ, it ain't your DJ, huh? It ain't like they would want to hate.
Coach, was you hopping when he played the song?
No,
exactly.
What you mean, like, bro? I'm still coaching, man. I gotta be somewhat professional. What you talking about?
Oh man, yeah, but that game kind of got away from Blake Gibson pretty quick.
Man
out there putting the dogs on them kids, man.
Literally.
It's nothing they wouldn't do to us. It's nothing anybody. If they had the chance, they would do it to us.
Oh man, trash, coach.
Man, tell me, boy.
When the rabbit got the gun, huh, coach? When the rabbit got the gun, it is what it is, huh?
Yes, sir.
I got it, man. So anyway, once again, girls top 5 of the week. Winter Haven at 1, Avon Park at 2, Jenkins at 3, Lake Region at 4, Discovery at 5. We'll post it on the page in the morning, like we always do. All right, so we're moving on to the boys' top 10 for the week. Had a little movement with this top 10. So starting number 10, first time in the top 10, Lake Placid at 14 and 4.
Trash. That was an accident.
Number 9. Is that right? No, that ain't right.
Write it down wrong, coach.
I'm gonna roll with it, and if we get crucified, I'll take the L on it. Number 9, I got Davenport at 9. 8 got Bart, so they lost yesterday. It's 12 and 9 now. 7, Jordan Christian Prep. 6, Lake Region. 5, Santa Fe. 4, Arbondale. 3, Victory. 2, Lakeland. 1, Winter Haven. So, once again, any feedback or thoughts on the top 10 for the week? We dropped. Sebring ended up dropping out. Sebring had lost. I mean, they won yesterday, but they had lost like 3 in a row. So they dropped. And Lake Placid is sitting at 14-4. They done won like 5 or 6 in a row. So that's what we got. Any thoughts on the? We had, like you said, we had a couple top 10 matchups last week. I think I got it wrong. That's what I'm saying. Lake Region, I got it wrote down wrong, so I'll correct it. Lake Region should be lower, and Santa Fe. I mean, Davenport should be high. So Lake Region and Davenport should be. But then, cause Lake Region lost to McKill this week.
Yeah, they lost to McKill Friday, I think.
Trash.
So let's discuss, because it's like how we do rankings and how other people do rankings may not be the same. Because Santa Fe beat Victory, don't automatically put them at 3 over Victory. I mean, they beat them head to head, and I don't know, maybe we the only ones that think about it that way, but so if Santa Fe should be higher, y'all in the chats, where should they be? They at 5.
Who number 4?
Arbondale. If our top 5 is Winter Haven, Lakeland, Victory, Arbondale, and Santa Fe, we moved Santa Fe up. They were like 8 or 9. They moved them up to 5 for beat Victory. So are we saying because they beat Victory, they automatically go to 3? So they jump all them other people?
I think Auburn. Each team. The craziest thing is each team had a loss this week, right? So you got Lakeland came off a loss. You had Victory had a loss. You had Santa Fe didn't have a loss, right? Auburndale had a loss to Lakeland.
So Lake Region beat Davenport. That's why we got them up. Okay. I'm just trying to make sense of what we got. So don't come for us, Coach Shake. Don't black screeners. So we got you where we. But
yeah, I'm not mad at Santa Fe being me. Y'all know I don't look at the list until we talk on the show. Like I would put Santa Fe over Auburndale. I wouldn't put them at number 3.
So because Santa Fe beat Victory and Victory beat Arbondale, the rationale is to put Santa Fe at 4 and put Arbondale at 5.
You good, bro? I ain't tripping.
Coach, you.
I'm looking up something, Coach.
So we saying 1, Woodhaven, 2 Lakeland, 3 Victory.
I mean, I think they are where they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? If you flip them in Armadale, I don't think that really says anything.
But if you
Armadale record is still better.
Yeah, if you flipping them in Arbondale,
you know what I'm
saying? But then that mean you put them over Victory?
Yeah. But my thing is Santa Fe has had some good wins, but Armadale has too.
Exactly. So has Victory.
You know what I'm saying? And Victory's schedule is, I mean, their record is better.
Their record is better. Their schedule is tougher.
Yeah, but we did take into account that head-to-head. That's why we moved them up so far.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't see them. I don't see it over Victory, but then Victory beat Tampa Catholic.
No,
who they beat on Tampa?
Victory beat Calvary Christian. It was like top 10 in the state. They just beat a CFCA last night. I mean, that one game against Santa Fe, to me, we moved them up because they beat Victory, but that don't discredit Victory body of work. You know, that's what we take into account. We look at stuff a little different, but I mean, I think we kind of got it right where it probably need to be. But what I would love, this be my thing. We gonna post our rankings. We gonna put it out there for discussion. And we understand that it's gonna be some discussion. We understand it's gonna be some criticism, and we appreciate both of them. But we always encourage comparison. So we encourage the comparisons of how we rank them versus how you would rank them. Like I say, we don't run from conversation. We don't run from.
But this is the start of conversation. So when it's posted, you can put why you feel that they're not.
Why do you feel like they're not? Are you looking at just Santa Fe victory? Are you looking at all that Santa Fe's done? You looking at all that victory's done? All that Army has done? Because that's what we do. I mean, and even with that, let me do my little quick soapbox real quick. It's very hard to get accuracy for it to be I don't want to say fair, but just kind of across the board, because everybody does not put their information into the system like they're supposed to. So Santa Fe may put all that stuff in daily, nightly. Victory may do it, but then you got other schools, Hamburger High or Hot Dog Academy. I'm not gonna say no people who not doing it. They don't put their stuff in. So when you go and look at it, everybody don't have their stuff in there. Like I can say this: 2 weeks ago, I went and did stats, or tried to do stats. Let me say it that way. Tried to do stats, but I couldn't do them and post them because everybody don't post their stats. And the minute I post some stats and it's missing your kid, then we trash. Y'all sizing us. Y'all doing this, that, and the third. But we can't post fairly if everybody don't post their stuff for us to be able to have it. And that's not, and it's fine. It's fine. But you know how these kids are. These kids are big on stats, Coach Blicker. They want to see who leading the count and scoring, who lead. I get it. I'm not a bit ranking and all that, but I understand it's needed and necessary. And I have no problem with doing it, but I'm not going to put it out there if 20 teams posting stats and 7 not, because it's not fair to the 7 teams and kids that don't. And so we would have been posted stats, which I know the kids want to see. And that's the whole purpose I was doing it, is for the kids. The grown-ups going to be grown-ups. I'm good with grown-ups. I don't, this wasn't started for grown-ups. It was started for kids. But it's like, so we get hammered when it's not across the board, and now we can go off of what's. So
I thought about having 2, but it was
at a ranking.
Just gonna stick with the one song.
Okay, so what's the one song?
It's a good team. If we did, and I may do that this week since this conversation up.
Yeah, you
we go and look at like when they doing the NCAA.
How long y'all seen this?
People teams of who they beat and who they ain't beat.
Remember, I had the most.
We may go do that.
And
we may go look up and just list who.
Okay, so like, what's 2 songs you got? So let's put this.
Mute, Tuma.
Bro, mute yourself, bro. Sorry about that, y'all. Like I said, it's live, so we get it all. This ain't no like editing takes or nothing like that. I just got him black. But I just got him, y'all. He just muted, y'all. Now you can hear us. But it has to be. It's hard to be fair, or when everybody's not using the same information, and we kind of looking at stuff, and like I look at stuff, and I know that people ain't posted 2 and 3 games. But what you gonna do if they don't post it? What can you do? So it's like you get the eyeball test, I guess, but it's like, is it a true eyeball test if everybody not using the same system the way that the state, not Polk hoops, the state say you're supposed to use it? And the answer to that is no. So is it fair? No, it's not fair. I would love for the kids to see themselves in their stats and how they measure up. The Polk County girls basketball people do a great job with that. But they also, the girls' coaches post their stuff. All the boys' coaches don't post their stuff. So and I ain't gonna say no names, but everybody don't post it. So it's not fair to post with who do and miss on who don't. I'd rather just not do it at all if I'm not gonna represent all the kids. And so, because I know how important that stuff is to these kids nowadays. So that's my soapbox on that. But just for the sake of it, since it became a conversation, I don't mind going and looking at Winter Haven, who they played tough games, Lakeland, who they played. We'll line up on the page so you can see it. We can see it. Coach Blicker, everyone don't put their results on Match Preps, even though it's required by the state. I can tell you for a fact they don't. If they do, they don't do it in a timely manner. you posting it, putting it on next Monday when you played last Saturday. I mean, I'm not going back and doing all that. I'm sorry, somebody else might, but I'm telling you from experience. I get up 5 o'clock every morning, and checking. It's not always there. But anywho, rankings are what they are. We make ours. A lot of people rock with them. A lot of people criticize them. You got whatever your stance on it. Like somebody said, the playoffs, the regular season. The regular season does count now, Mr. Riley, because if your regular season trash, you with strength of schedule, you're gonna be in some trouble. So it might and didn't used to count, but it count now with the new system. Okay, Vincent, to your point, let's just say McKeel didn't post their stats, and I go and post other people's stats and don't put McKeel kids on there. You gonna be okay with that as a parent or as a kid? Because so I'm not. I mean, you're gonna be no. You're gonna have a whole issue with that, and so I'm just not going. I'm not. I choose because the way people look at it. If I don't post your kid, you saying that as a coach, but and I'm looking at it from the kid standpoint. Remember, I'm in the kid business now. A kid gonna see that they ain't on there, and that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue, and for me and somebody else, if somebody else want to go and do it and post just what's on there. And not everybody they can do it. I'm not going to do it. If I can't represent every team in the county, I'm just not going to do it. It's the whole point of Polk Hoops. If I can't represent everybody, I won't do nobody. I just don't think it's fair. A kid shouldn't have to be punished because a grown-up didn't do something they're supposed to do. And I stand on that. So that's Polk Hoops, that's Coach Barnes, that's Dr. Barnes, whatever you want to call me, that's Corey, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to punish a kid because of a grown-up. I never have. And I never will. So if they don't post it, if I can't do it for everybody, I'm not doing it for nobody. And you can say so. That's the reason why you haven't seen boys stats like you see girl stats, because all the boys coaches don't post their stats. And I won't say specific because we're not going to do it that way. But everybody don't post, and that's fine. You ain't got to post, but that's between you and your kids. So to the kids that's watching this, to the parents that's watching this, you want to know why Polk Hoops ain't posting no boy stats this year? That's why. Okay. All right, moving on. You ain't missing nothing, my T. Just people, it's the rankings, so we get a chance to get criticized and everything else. So I just gave a little more insight today than I have. Most time I'll be quiet about stuff just for the sake of it, but sometimes you have to address stuff and let people go where they kind of want to go with it. All right, so moving on. Speaking on kids, which is why we're here, we're gonna move to the Polk Hoops primetime performance for last week, for the week that was. We had a few. So let's give them their accolades. First, I don't know, Coach, you got anything else? I just, sometimes I won't speak on it a lot, but every now and then you got to address some stuff.
Again, like I said, we do it the best to our ability to also start a conversation. People got to understand that we look at the conversations and we take those into account. We're not gonna be 100% all the time. We fine with that, but we putting out the best product that we feel that we can. You know what I'm saying? In the end, it always sorts itself out. It'll be okay.
I mean, we'll address that. Let me see what Edgar Pickett said first. If we line up, since you brought it up and since we're on it, if you line up Winter Haven strength of schedule with who they played this year, since that's the conversation, and Lakeland strength of schedule, I don't think nobody outside of people that rock with Lakeland. And I can speak on this because Lakeland, they're my people, and whether they still my people after this, if they can't take me keeping it, a buck, well. Winter Haven has played the toughest schedule in the entire county, and that ain't even close with the people they've played. And I'm gonna just give you one stat, Pickett, just because I respect. I don't know if that's the son or the dad, but I'll say Mr. Pickett just to be safe. When I did posted the rankings this week, Winter Haven was number 7 overall in the state Winter Haven had played number 2 through 6 in the entire state. Only team they hadn't played was Miami Columbus, who was number 1. So 2 through 6 in the state they had played. I don't know nobody in Polk County can make that claim or even close. So when we looking at strength of schedule, it's not even a conversation. If I'm wrong, somebody can look at the same stuff I looked at. It's not like I got like a password or some kind of cheat code that nobody else ain't got. Everybody got the same thing. So FSSAA.org, go look up rankings. You'll see the same thing on the first page before you even hit a next button. Winter Haven is 7, and 2 through 6 they've already played or will play before the season over with. Nobody else in Polk County can make that. So to us, it's not even a conversation about who has the toughest strength of schedule when it comes to Lakeland and Winter Haven. And with Victory make a claim that they got a tougher schedule than Lakeland. That's not a popular topic. That's not a sexy topic, especially with Lakeland people. But if we're going to talk about it, then we'll be real with it. All right. So, primetime performance. We're going to start with Sebastian Rosado, who joined the 50-point club. I guess welcome back. Lake Wells winning. Yes, sir. I know you just asking, Mr. Pig. It wasn't necessarily directed at you. It's kind of directed at more than you, because that's been a conversation. We've been criticized for it pretty much all season long about how and why we're doing the rankings. So we just feel like today, if we're going to put it out there, we'll just address it. I won't address it no more. I won't say nothing else about it, but that's the point. Because that's not the first time that's come up. But so that wasn't directed directly at you. I'm just answering it because you asked it. So Sebastian Rosado had 52, and Lake Wells went and beat Martin County, who them my people, Cheese. I mean, if they want to cancel me, then I guess we wasn't really never people, but them my guys. I raised them guys, so they know I say the same thing to them off the air that I say to them on the air. If I can't be real with them, then I misread what we supposed to be anyway, So, anywho, Sebastian Rosado went for 52. They ain't used to be like this, Cheese. So I'm gonna get back in character. They used to tune like this and coach like this. They used to be like this. So I'm gonna get back corporate and let it go. Leave it where it's at. 52 over Martin County, who won state last year. And if I say your name wrong, ma'am, I apologize. But Manasia Ford from Discovery, she averaged 20 points. Average now in 3 games last week, 20 points a game. 6.3 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 2.3 steals on 3 games last week. So shout out to Black B way those stuff. Also, we got 2 guys for the first time coming from Lake Placid. Had and I say your name wrong, I'm sorry. Lazavian Brown had 40 points against Cape Coral Christian, and Devin Brown had 33. So they had 77 between the two. And lastly, 2 McKill guys, Billy Hedden. If I say your name wrong, Billy, I apologize. Billy Hedden had a monster game against Tenor Rock, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. And Alex, who's continuing just to kill it all year for against Tenor Rock, he also had 28 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. So they combined for like 58 points. And so those are our primetime performers for the week once again. Sebastian Rosado, Monet Ford, Lazavian Brown, Devin Brown, Billy Hedden, and Alex Sessoms. We can always, and then yesterday, I don't have the whole stat line, but I know LJ went for like 39 or 40 last night against CFCA, and they win 93-7 win. So we'll post those young men and lady on the page tomorrow. Coach, any thoughts or input on that?
No, I think Sebastian getting back into action makes Lake Wells a different team. They have no chance in making the playoffs unless they win the district championship.
Coach, with that new team, they could.
That's what I was about to say. I would not want to play them.
Yeah.
I would not want to play them. So it's going to be interesting in that. What's that, 5A? That 5A district.
Yeah. I'm like, Coach, they just, I don't know if we glossing over that. I don't know if now we're going to say, because what the first thing people say is just not knowing the background or Lake Wales doing right now is now Martin County trash now because they lost Lake Wales. That's going to be the narrative. Ain't nothing about they lost Lake Wales. They trash, but that ain't the same Lake Wales team that we've been reporting on. This is a whole new team. They got team they thought they was going to have. Coach Banks got who he thought he was going to have at the beginning of the year, and now he got him. So you ain't walking up on the same Lake Wales. I mean, to go beat the state champs in their gym, that should tell you all you need to know if you're paying attention. And so yeah, that's gonna be, and they're gonna have a low seed. And so if you're a high seed coach, you ain't getting no normal. What they got 17 in that district. You ain't getting a normal 7 seed with what they lined up now. I mean, before the first semester, you was getting a 7 seed, but you ain't getting a 7 seed now. So like you said, I could be feeling good at a 1 or a 2 seed, and it could be shirts to the left, shorts to the right. First night, like with what they got out there now.
And if it's 17s, I mean, number one will get a bye. That means they'll end up playing Auburndale if it ended today. I think they're the number 2 seed in that region.
Coach, do you want? I mean, like you just said, nobody don't want it.
No,
somebody gonna get it, Coach. Somebody gonna get a 7 seed who is not a 7 seed. They're gonna get somebody who's not a 7 seed, Coach. So
they may move up to like 6. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah, they stuck in a 6. They're not gonna get that because of what they got right now. Because this is last week for districts.
Yep.
Right, so they can't move. They can't move too much higher. So yeah, if I'm sitting at a 1, 2, or 3 seed, I'm sitting there like, man. When I got the news that they beat the state champs in their gym and Rosado went for 52. I'm like, I'm running to go look at the roster. That's what I would have started looking at the roster. Like, what happened? Auburn in Lake Wales. But shout out to Sebastian and shout out to I know Coach Branson like, hey, don't start talking now. All these beats I've been taking on here ain't nothing now. So, Coach, I understand, Coach. They talk the same way, same energy y'all had when y'all was lined up and dragging us. They have the same energy now. So, but anywho, so we're gonna move on to the and and the thing is, I don't know. We're not gonna do that. So just hopefully before we go to the games that are this week, hopefully we can just appreciate the fact that at Polk Hoops that we get to talk to and about everybody. And just because we talk to it about everybody don't change anything. And if you can't accept that, then I don't know what else to tell you. But we're not gonna stop moving how we move. We ain't saying nothing. We ain't saying nothing that, in our opinion, is not true based off of factual information or our knowledge of what's the game. The chat box will always be interesting. So, all right, so we're going to the games this week. We got a couple of good ones this week now. Hopefully, we won't get the screen turned off by PG. But I think we got 2, 4, 6. I think we got 8 good games. Yeah, Coach Jones. Yeah, he had a monster stat line. I'm gonna post the whole stat line tomorrow. The 52 just kind of jumped out, but I'm gonna put all the steals and assists and all that. Yeah, he definitely was a problem. I know. And the thing about Martin County, they ain't have him in the scout report. He ain't played.
No.
So he come out here, they looking up like, you looking at the scout guy. If I'm the coach, if I ain't the one breaking the film down to doing the scout, I'm looking at him like, you ain't have him. Where the hell he came? I'm sorry. Anyway, so tomorrow night, first game, we got Santa Fe at CFCA.
I like Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
All right, so we all taking Santa Fe on the road against CFCA. Tuesday night, we have Santa Fe doing a back-to-back thing, but they're doing it a little more local. Santa Fe got Lakeland at Santa Fe.
Lakeland.
All right. Also Tuesday night, Davenport at Sebring.
Sebring.
Sebring will be at home. My concern is, like Coach said, they lost a couple of them in a row. I think Davenport can go in there and steal it. So I'm gonna take Davenport.
Okay. So let me write this down. Because y'all just kind of, and the Santa Fe game is at Lakeland apparently. So my bad on that.
Definitely Lakeland.
One thing about Polk, they gonna get you right. They gonna get you right now. So, Coach, you said, PJ, you said Sebring,
Yeah, I got Sebring.
and Coach, you said Davenport.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take Sebring since it's in Sebring. I know how tough it is to go down there and get you a win. What day is what? What day? Santa Fe is at Lakeland. Thank y'all. That's on Tuesday night. they be getting us together, but me together, I guess. Wednesday, IMG Blue at Winter Haven.
We don't know which IMG team is the
That's not the
real.
national team. I think that's the team that they played earlier, isn't it?
I just saw it came up. They play them. Probably the team they play. Probably did home and home.
Yeah, I'll take Winter Haven. Winter Haven went over there and beat them, so they should be able to beat them at home.
All right, I like Winter Haven too. Thursday, Bartow. It says, unless I wrote it down wrong, Bartow at Victory.
I'm gonna take Victory, Coach.
Is Bartow back healthy?
Their health. Let's say they're back. They got their kids back, but it's not.
It's
what
not.
it used to
Not
be.
there yet. Okay.
Yeah, it's not gelling yet. So I think it's going to take a few games for them to get on one page.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take Victory then. We'll get PG when he come back. Thursday. I don't know if this would be
Who
considered.
was the other game?
We just did Bartow at Victory for Thursday.
Bartow at Victory.
Bartow at Victory.
Man, I ain't get to hear what y'all pick. Give me Victory.
Both us picked Victory too.
Yeah, give me
All
Victory.
right. Thursday we got Thursday we got Winter Haven at Army.
Winter Haven.
Winter Haven.
We got to do it because it's a rivalry game. Friday night, I didn't have this game on there originally, but it's on there now because the Lake Wales now is not the Lake Wales from beginning of the season. So Lake Wales at Bartow on Friday.
Bartow.
Coach, I'm gonna go at the Wells.
Man, you disrespecting Bartow.
Hey, it is what it is. They'll be all right.
That Lake Wales they different now, and Bartow still ain't got all their people, even though it's Lake Wales and Bartow and it's at home. Like I might take Lake Wales too. I think that's it. So we got Sia.
I think Tuma got to pick Winter Haven, IMG.
Winter Haven. I had picked Winter Haven.
Okay.
All right, so the only game that we are different on, well, two games. We different on Davenport and Sebring, and we different on Lake Wales and Bartow. The rest of them we are the same. And Coach Hines, we only choose the we call what we consider the games of the week, so we don't just choose all. We don't pick all the games. So Chickens didn't make the cut this week. I'm sorry. All right, so last thing we got, man, before we jump off, we got two, and it ain't basketball, it's football related. Who y'all got today in the two games before we jump off? You got the Bengals and the Bills, and you got 49ers and the Cowboys and 49ers.
49ers and the Bengals.
I got 49ers and the Bills.
I got 49ers and the Bills. Yes, sir. So nobody giving the Cowboys a chance. Cowboys is like but anyway, we won't say that. But just before we jump off, hopefully we gave some clarity to some of the conversation. We probably didn't get clarity. Some people probably got a little more pissed off with us. You know, if you ain't getting pissed off with us, I just Black and y'all, we pick the games that we feel like the are the top games for the week. No disrespect or slight to the other teams that we don't choose to pick. You know, we can't pick all of them. We've been here all day. We picked all of them. So it's no disrespect or no slight. Just like I said about the stats, it's no disrespect, no slights. But we can't do it all. We ain't doing none.
Trash.
I know y'all ain't. But yeah. So the chat was very good. The chat was very good today. Very entertaining for a matinee, man. Well, this is the last week. Just so we're talking, this is the last week as it relates to boys. I'll say this real quick, Bubbles. It's real. I won't go into detail, but you know I know a lot more than I talk and what I post, and I won't talk and post. But that narrative is a real narrative. It's not made up. I wouldn't say it otherwise. She's saying that they not mad. She don't know where that narrative keep coming from. That's what Bubba's saying.
That who not mad?
That they're not mad, as in Lakeland people. I'm assuming Lakeland people that they're not mad.
Mad at who? Me?
Cap. It's just mad, you know. But let's just real quick. When it comes to scouting, apparently there's an issue that has come up in the county as far as getting film on other teams. What is the process? What is acceptable and not acceptable, coach, as far as film is related?
Playoffs, any out of town team y'all playing, they should be sharing film if they play them. During the season, if they played out of town team, and you played out of town team, and y'all play each other, you get no film.
So who do you get the film from?
You don't get it from somebody that got to play.
Can you go get your own film?
You better go get it. If I play Billy Deed in a month, but I played Tampa Catholic that month before that, and Billy D played them the next week, I'm not going to give him the film on my game. He's going to have film on both of us.
So how do you get the film is my question. Do you
request it?
Network with some of the best coaches in the state.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to request it. You got to get it through Huddle or however they send film. So what you can't do is you can't go to somebody else's gym and record it. You cannot do that.
So that's where the line gets drawn. If I'm about to play against Mount Dora and I call Scott and Scott won't give me no film, or I'm about to play Lake Wells and Billy won't give me no film, I can't pull out my cell phone and record it. That's illegal.
You get fined for that?
I don't know what the consequences are, but I'm pretty.
So it's not legal. Is it not legal? It's not ethical, moral. But how would you prove it?
For real, I'm seeing a TNJ network everywhere.
I mean, that's fine though. He's not tied to a team. You know what I'm saying? He's not tied to a team. TNJ is just, outside.
They the media.
Yeah.
So I guess so. If it's a coach that's doing somebody's affiliated with the team, then that's when you cross the line.
Yes.
But I guess it would be how would you prove it, and then what would be the because I could be at the game, I can come watch your game, and just because I got my phone up, it doesn't mean that I'm recording, right? I could just be on a FaceTime call. I could be texting. You know, I mean, I'm not saying this. I'm just giving both sides of it. So how would you prove that, and what could you do about it? I mean, if I thought if you thought I was filming your game with my phone, what could you do?
I think you can report it to the state.
And then what happened? They gonna ask for my phone or something like that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all you can do is report it to the state. Like,
yeah, I think they'll do their own little investigation. But
go ahead.
I haven't seen something like that in a long time, so I'm curious on what their process is now.
Yeah, because if you coaching, it ain't like you can go over there and like say to the guy, you know what I'm saying, what you doing type stuff. You coaching, so you can't go over there and address it. And by the time I get something from the state, I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna be on my phone by then. If I did record something, I ain't keeping it. You know, I ain't gonna keep the footage or whatever. So we know that you can't do it, but I guess we've heard that it's been done. Let's say it that way, without getting specific. We've heard that it's been done, which is why we're asking, just to get clarity. And so and we just saying this general. We're not being specific. We're not, calling out no teams and names, but we will say that please, kind of be careful if you are affiliated with a team or a program, and you go into somebody else's gym and you decide to record, that there could be repercussions to it. We don't necessarily know what the repercussions are, but please, just be careful if you are affiliated with another team. If that's, if you have done that, which we've heard of, it's happened, or if you're thinking about doing it, maybe you just didn't know that you're not supposed to do that. So we want to make sure that we just kind of educate when we can, whether it's, received or not. At least you won't be able to say you didn't know. And also, we posted it, but Lake Region girls, give them a quick shout out. They went down south. Arcadia beat the number 1 team on the road in there. But to answer your question, Monty, Joe Black is not affiliated with he's not affiliated with a team. So what he does with what he records, that's up to him. If he take it to McGriff, then obviously but we wouldn't know. He's not affiliated with a team. He's considered the media. So, the media can record. That's the media do that.
My thing is, you don't have to take it to McGriff. Anybody can go to Facebook and watch those games.
Yeah, but then that's so that's fit. You got free film. Anytime TNJ working, you got free film.
Free film. And a lot of people post the games on YouTube. That's free film.
And
just using your resources.
It ain't just TNJ. It's some games that where you got parents recording, going live. You got kids going live. So it's multiple people that are going live. You almost even have to go. I mean, if you want to go to the game for just for the feel and the atmosphere, but you almost, if you want to just watch the game, you ain't got to go to the game because there's people going live pretty much at every game. So it's not something that is not happening. It's just a matter if you connected to, a team or to a program or not. I mean, if they address it, Coach Shea, that's what I'm saying. If admin ask, but that would be tough. Just like you as an admin, Billy D. How much work that's gonna be though, Coach Shake? If it's who they gonna ask? Because if it's me, I can say, "How you gonna tell me to start recording?" And she recording. You'll be walking around the whole gym trying to tell people to put their phones up, right? I mean,
yeah,
that'll be tough to enforce. I mean, I get it. The admin can ask them to stop recording, but that's gonna be tough to enforce. I would think
the admin actually got to know, like, hey, they're the coach of that particular team or something. They got to know that. So, and then, like me, if I'm recording, you're not getting my phone. Care what you say.
And that's the thing. You can't take my phone. Like that's now you're getting some legal stuff. Like that's that's tough to enforce, even if you know what's happening. My point is, we're letting folks know that you shouldn't be doing it. What you do with the information is on you. But after that, it's like with a cell phone, I could be doing anything on my cell phone. So you can't necessarily say I'm recording, and like we said, it's multiple people that's recording, going live, and all this. You got these kids nowadays. Everybody, I won't say everybody, but it's multiple people that are doing it. So I would imagine as an admin, it would be very hard to enforce that. So you would just hope people would just be ethical and I guess moral and follow the rules. But we know we're in a society where folks don't always do what they probably should do. But that's a tough one. I just know as an admin, it's like it's just like in school. You telling the kid that you're trying to take kids' phones. That's gonna be your whole day dealing with cell phones if you're really trying to do it. But so hopefully, like we say, the rule is, and I saw what Coach Ambo say. His rule is as it relates to college. I mean, not college, to film. Playoff time. It's some people outside the county won't. And I mean, it ain't real off topic, Coach, but what was your rule on that? What was your philosophy on that, coaching playoffs? If somebody called you, asked for film, somebody you played at Polk County, you gave it to him. He's like, "No, it's the county. You ain't getting it."
You're not getting film from anybody in the county. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Lake Wells. You know what I'm saying? You know what the relationship of the rivalry with us and Bartow. You know what I'm saying? People call for film on Bartow, and people call for film on other people. No, I'm not giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wish you luck. That's about all I can do. But I'm not giving you film on nobody in the county.
Yeah, now if I'm in the county and you playing somebody I done played out the county, then yeah, you got it. But we always was like, cause that's what other counties do. They won't give you film on them. I know Hillsborough County won't even let you have a conversation.
And that happened to me in 2012 when nobody gave up film on Jesuit, and we played them in the regional final.
Yeah, straight up. When we played Sickles, coach, back in the day when Sickles had the Hitson kid that went to Carolina.
Yeah.
Coach, we called the whole county. Wasn't nobody, coach. I appreciate it. They had, and guys that Coach Collins had like great relationships with. Like, nah, we good. We ain't gonna be able to do it, coach. They would not. Hillsborough County ain't giving up nothing. I don't care who you. Okay, we brothers. If you coach at Jesuit and I coach at Lakeland and we brothers, no, I can't do it. They stand firm on that. I don't know if they still do, but I know they did then. People that gave film on y'all, coach, and that's the thing. It's supposed to be a county, or it used to be. Let me say it that way. It used to be like a county unwritten code that you ain't sharing film once we done playing. I don't care who it is. I don't care how big our rivalry was. Like you just said, I ain't sharing film on you if once we're done with the season. But that has changed now. Like Coach Chris is saying, people share film with folks that they play. It's almost like you want them to get beat. Now, obviously, we ain't gonna say that. We ain't saying that on Polk Hoops, but it's like it's done changed. That's changed. So in one breath, y'all want coaches to update their match preps. With other breath, y'all ain't sharing film. Black, when I say update they stuff on match preps, I'm saying do what you're supposed to do as far as posting your game when you lose or win, post a score, and post your kids' stats, because that's what you're supposed to. At the end of the day, Black, if they don't want to post them, that's fine with me. I'm just saying, and you in the kid business, how these jitterbugs is about their stats. And I've had plenty of kids ask why we haven't posted stats. So I'm just saying it for today, the reason why we haven't. Now, I could post 20 teams worth of stats that have done it, but it wouldn't be fair to the 4 that haven't. I mean, the 7 that haven't, so I just won't do it. But as far as sharing film, I'm saying playoff wise, in between the regular season, we could share film. I'm saying outside people. If you at Daytona Beach mainland and I'm at Lakeland, and you finna play Bartow, I'm not giving you no film on Bartow. I'm just not. You figure it out on your own. And that's how it was when I was coaching. It's not that way now. So I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if them the same two deals, but I'm just saying with match preps is different than sharing film. I mean, you ain't finna get if a team press, you ain't finna get if a team, runs on after made free throw, you ain't finna get out of bounds set off of match preps. You're just getting the numbers that they put up for that game. So to me, those are two different things. But I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot. Even today on this show, I've been wrong a lot. So I'll take that. But that's my take on it. So anywho, pretty good show. Very entertaining today. We appreciate y'all rocking with us on this matinee edition, man. And we're gonna be off here in time for you to catch your football games. For the people that are big on that, bruh, be on time for you to get your event out the way tonight, man. And Coach, hopefully feel better. Coach got it out for us tonight. Coach ain't in the best of shape, and bruh getting ready for his performance. That's how committed we are to Polk County High School basketball. That we fighting through sickness and events and still making the show go on. So move the time and everything. So anyway, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. So hopefully everybody have a good week on the court, man. And this is the last week of the regular season, so you make sure you position yourself for how those district seasons gonna look. So hopefully you're finishing strong. Everybody staying safe. Everybody staying healthy. And y'all have a great week out there. And until next time, until next week, man. Polk Hoops, we out. Y'all be safe. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Bro, you got to turn it off.
All right, y'all.
You got to turn it off, bro.